Hey, welcome back. We are on days 12 and 13. Remember, you guys, I am doubling up because I missed a few days not feeling well. And we're on 30 days. I'm committed. We're at the halfway point, 100%. I'm actually live streaming over here on YouTube, and I'm getting ready to go ahead and live stream over on TikTok. I kind of wanted to get things going so that we can dive into everything and get the party started, which I'm super duper excited about. And so, if you haven't had an opportunity to be able to kind of like glance through some of the videos from the beginning of the challenge, I definitely want to encourage you to make sure that you go back to get that value because it definitely, like 100%, it's a bunch of value. And so even if you take like a Saturday or whenever you can to kind of dive into all of the different levels of content, I would say it's phenomenal. And just kind of going through the challenge in and of itself, I wish that when I was coming up in this space, learning some of these components, that I had the opportunity to be able to find a resource like this. But in anything that you do, in anything that you decide to lead in, it's super duper important that you go ahead and you create avenues that maybe you didn't necessarily always feel supported in, right? That's what leadership and pivoting is 100% about. That's the name of the game. And so, even if you're watching some of the trainings, let's say in the future, and you decide, that you have a particular question, you can go ahead and leave your question. And as I see the comments come in, I don't mind answering them. But really, you have enough information to go ahead and implement. That's one of the things that you've heard me say as we've gone through the process of meeting, essentially that implementation is key. 100%, right? It's not enough to just be the type of person that just wants to get information. At the end of the day, you want to go ahead and implement the different things that you learn when you have the opportunity to be able to learn it at the end of the day. Okay, so we're going to get started on days, I think I said 12 and 13. I'm getting us started over here on TikTok, and we're going to go ahead and get into it. Okay, so I'm just setting us up here. Sorry, I usually dive right into the lives, and I'm not going to be um, um, oh, wait, I might need to do this. All right, let's get started. Fast forward when you watch the replay because this is definitely 100% live. Okay. All right, guys. So let's dive into days 11 and 12. I believe I said, oh my God, 12, 13. Okay, here we go. All right. So today we're going to be talking about the importance of getting paid easily. All right. And in that, I'm going to be able to help you to set up payment systems so that you can collect your income right away. That's definitely important. All right. And then we're also going to be talking about having a built in follow up system. Remember, we talked about the importance of automations. And all of the different things that connect to why you should have automations. Remember, automations equal freedom at the end of the day, and they are super important in your business building. Okay, and so I'm going to start with the first part with regards to getting paid easily, and then we'll dive into the second half in terms of doing your follow-up system. Okay, so like I said, our goal essentially is that I'm going to help you to set up a payment system so that you can collect income right away. And the reason why you want to go ahead and get paid easily is because of the fact that you don't obviously want to go through a hard process of getting paid for the work that you do. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you stay organized. Okay. And at the same time, when it comes to the different people that are going to be taking advantage of your offer in particular, hey, welcome in, Roses. You don't want to confuse your buyer, right? You don't want their journey of purchasing your products and services to be confusing, right? So you definitely want to do your research with regards to different tools. Hey, welcome in. That you're going to go ahead and place in your business, and I'll name a few. All right. So if you have digital products, if you are a coach, if you have any type of online business, even when it comes to remote cleaning business, you can connect to any of these channels to be able to get paid. Hey, welcome in. Please tap with the screen when you come in the room over on the TT side. And so I find that Stripe, PayPal, and Square are really, really good payment processors to get paid as an online business owner. You can do your research. You definitely want to do research in terms of how much those platforms are going to take once they process your payments. Hey, welcome in, welcome in. In terms of how that works, it's important that you do your due diligence when you have an online business, because even if let's say each transaction in terms of you getting paid, let's say, I don't know, it's 2.5%, that will add up and begin to take away from your margin. So it's very, 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 very welcome in, important that you pay attention to how it is that you're setting up your payment processors in an online business. Thank you so much for the heart me. I appreciate you guys. And so if you just came in on the TikTok side, I'm actually live also on YT. You know that TT loves abbreviations. We're talking about the importance of getting paid easily in your business, and also setting up different compartments as it relates to making sure that as your customers and clients are going on the journey of being in the position to where as they're buying your offer, your services, that their process is not something that's hard. We want it to be simple. So we are diving into day 12 and 13 of our 30-day challenge that will connect you to being able, thank you so much for the heart me, that will connect you to being able to build your online business. I appreciate you guys so much. And so we talked about how Stripe, PayPal, and also Square are great platforms. You need tools in your business to be able to help to automate it, right? And if you're not totally 100% nailed on those platforms, you can always do the necessary research, right? When you become a business owner, you will learn that you have to research the heck out of your processes, right? You always want to be plugged into, let's say, the latest blogs. You want to even set up different Google alerts that let you know what's going on in your particular industry, and that is for free, okay? And so once you get the mentality, remember that CEO mindset, 100%. Hey, Nicole, welcome in. To be able to now shift into that CEO mindset, right? You've obtained that mindset, you've done the work, you understand what it takes, then you'll understand the importance of making sure that you're researching along the way, all right? So you have your payment processors that we talked about, right? If you're a service-based business, you could really create invoices too. Now, I'm a templates girly, all right? I like working smarter and not harder. So it's important for me to have templates in my business. So I will go to an online platform like Etsy, that's ETSY, to get templates galore so my life can be easy. And so on Etsy, if you are creating invoices, and let's say you don't want to create them from scratch, you can easily go to Canva, okay? That's CANVA, and write in invoices for online business and literally get a couple of templates for like $2. And then utilize those templates to go in part with whatever emails you're sending out to your clients if they ask for an invoice in particular. So with service-based businesses, similar to my remote cleaning business, you do tend to have invoices. Either the customers will send you an invoice, or you can go ahead and brand your invoice. If you don't want to spend any money, then you can go to Canva, you can type in invoices, create an invoice, and then go ahead and create your system to be able to track what invoices are going out to whatever customers or clients, all right? And so when you have these invoices, it's important that you have integrated checkout links also connected to your invoices, right? It's not enough for the customer or client to see the invoices, but how are they going to pay on the invoice, right? You have to have that payment processor. You have to have that tool. Stripe, PayPal, Square is very, very important, right? And then to take it up a notch, you can easily automate your receipts. Okay. This is a business mindset. We're not doing stuff like my mom used to say, half behind, because we don't have time for that. We're operating as CEOs. We want to make sure that our business is in order so that when we go and we make that $200,000, right, in our online business, we don't have to go to our CPA, right, and be a complete mess because we don't have track of what it is that we've been doing in our business from a financial standpoint, right? So let's say you have all of those different invoices, and you're sending them out. What you could go ahead and do is open up a Google Drive and kind of throw the invoices in Google Drive, right? Maybe you have a folder that says, okay, this is the month of November. You can create different file folders from, let's say, January to December. And as the invoices come in, automatically, you go ahead and you place them in those particular folders. You just want to get to the place in your business building, essentially, to whereas you are making sure that you have automated systems, right? Or either at least integrated habits that are going to be able to help you to make sure that you stay organized. That's the name of the game. All right. And so you guys know that we are all about implementation because we want to be able to get results in our business building. This challenge that I'm doing for the next 30 days has nothing to just do with giving you information as a potential aspiring online business owner, but it's about how you can run it up to go ahead and get quick wins in your business. The information that I am giving you for free, if you've been following me on the YT side, I'm so sorry, TT. If you've been following me on the YT side for the replays, if you literally plug in every single day that I'm teaching you during this challenge, you will have a viable business within 30 days, 100%. And what I keep telling people is starting in January is not enough. We see what's going on with the government. We see what's going on in the world. The time is now to get started. All right. Back in the day, I said this when I was on live earlier, we used to be at a place to where as people felt like they had security in their government jobs. No longer. That day has gone away. At the end of the day, one income is close to no incomes. And it is super important that we have multiple streams of income, that essentially we get creative and making sure that we have different avenues to where as we're making money for our lives. No one at any point, hey, Nikita, should have the opportunity to be able to basically tell you when your family is going to eat. No one should have that power at all. But you should be at a place to where as you know, and you're watching Hey Hustle and Glow, what the world is doing, and you're putting yourself in the position to be able to learn a new skill that you can turn essentially into a business. All of us, we have different skills. We have different areas in which we can serve people by way of their pain points. And whatever it is, literally, that you have, you can turn it into a service for people. You can meet somebody's pain point at the end of the day. All of that being said, if you're just coming in the room and you're new, we are doing a 30-day challenge. In 30 days, I'm going to help you to be able to build out your online business. We are on days 12 and 13. I missed a couple of days because I wasn't feeling well. So I'm doubling up. I doubled up 2 days yesterday, doubling up 2 days today. We'll be back on track by tomorrow. And if you want to be able to watch the replays to get the play for every single day, the last, it'll be 13 days when we get off the live today, you can visit my YT, can't say the full word, my YT, and then you can go back and watch the videos and you will be able to build a business at the end of the challenge, right? But just to stick a pin, if you're ready to start now, you're on the YT side, you can hit the LINK, gotta abbreviate. TT does not like these words. I'm not trying to get in trouble, but you can hit the LINK in the description on YT side. And on this side, if you're interested in building an online business and you want the full play, I am offering my 2 ebook bundle for $27. One of the ebooks essentially is my investment into you. It's your Ladypreneur guide. It's going to give you a 4-day action plan, all of the information that you need to get started. And the other book is your investment. Okay, $27, a couple of Starbucks runs. Okay, hanging out at a speakeasy, a couple of drinks. Essentially, you are pouring into yourself in this last quarter of the year, so that before January 1st comes in, you already got to play for an online business. Okay. You can even create 3 different businesses out of the different types of online businesses that I've mentioned during the training. You can have a service-based business just like me. I had the opportunity, if you read my headline over here on the TT side, to build a remote cleaning business. I was going through a divorce. I had lost my corporate job at the time and was a brand new single mother. And I was able to create a remote cleaning business. And I made 5 figures creating that business. Not only that, I've had a t-shirt store. Essentially, I'm pointing to my heat press over here that you guys can't see. I've created low content essentially for Amazon. Okay, this was created in a platform called Canva. There are so many different types of businesses that you can start. You can have a service-based business that connects to something like my remote cleaning business. You can have a products-based business. You can create ebooks, courses, all out of your particular skills. Or you can have an affiliate-based business, essentially to whereas you see all of these different people selling on TikTok, you can get somebody else's products and sell. Okay, so there are several different ways you can create a viable business nowadays. Okay, you just have to get creative. You just have to know the systems. You just got to go ahead and get the strategies, and then you got to go ahead and run up that bag. Because like I said before, nobody should have the power to tell people when they're going to eat or when they're going to feed their children. You got to take that power away from other people and begin to create a business and a life that you love. I don't care if you love your 9 to 5, that's great. But what do you have in addition to that 9 to 5? Just in case, because of the fact that we understand that our society does not operate in the same integrity that they did over 20 years ago, to where as you knew that you were going to make it to the end of your tenure in your career to be able to obtain your pension, so on and so forth. That's not the time that we're living in. At the end of the day, you must have multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income. When one thing happens to one thing, you got another thing so that you don't have to live in a state of fear. Okay? Because life is not about living in fear. We fear enough. We fear if you're a mom, when your child walks out the door, right? We fear different things that we have to go through in our relationships. We should not have to fear when it comes to making sure that we're able to take care of ourselves. Okay? And so when it comes to day 12, that's where we were in this 30-day challenge. I'm going live 2 times a day. You can catch me on YT over at The Intentional Lady on all the platforms, all right? We were talking about getting paid easy. I gave you a bunch of tools that you can be able to connect to no matter what type of business you're building out, no matter what your model is. And I told you of the importance of making sure that you have invoices. I gave you some examples of connecting to platforms like Etsy so that you can get templates essentially and keep your business in order. So now when it comes to the implementation part, I want you to go ahead and set up one payment link and test it with a transaction of $1. Okay. So if you decide to set up Stripe for your business, if you've been going through the challenge, and even if you haven't, I want you to go ahead, set it up, connect it to your bank account. All right. Do a transaction for $1 so that you can make sure that the system is working. All right. And so that's your marching orders. That's your homework for that part of the training. All right. Let's go ahead and go into the next part. All right. And that is building up a follow-up system. Following up with your customers and clients is the name of the game. And it's something that I absolutely live by. You'll have the opportunity to be able to do this by consistently building relationship with your people. Okay. And so this is how you keep leads engaged until they buy. A lot of times what I see on the TT platform is that people sometimes have a mindset to whereas it's like, okay, if I get one sell, no. You want to be able to have lifetime value with your customers. You want them to be able to utilize you as their expert and buy from you over and over and over again. That Chick-fil-A that you love to drive to, you have a relationship with that Chick-fil-A. You consistently go to that Chick-fil-A because either because of the fact that they give you really good customer service, or essentially you like the layout of the building. It could be several different reasons. You are a returning customer for a reason. They've built relationship essentially with you as a consumer. And that is super duper important. All right. So I'm going to give you a 3-part follow-up flow. Okay. When you're talking to customers, let's say through an email sequence, let's say you're checking in because they went ahead and opted into your newsletter. You're going to remind your customers and clients of the value that you bring, right? Why do they need what it is that you're consistently offering to them? Okay. Because when people buy from you, they're buying from you from the perspective of the fact that they have a pain point. And you essentially have the answer to what it is that they need as their expert, right? As their person that they're consistently buying from. So it's important that you make sure that your customers and clients see that value 100%. Now, with service based businesses, this could simply essentially look like this, right? Providing, let's say, the fact that Thanksgiving is coming, right? I need to be letting my clients and customers know, if I have a remote cleaning business, that they don't want to be cooking and also cleaning. That's too much. And so that's providing value. There's a need for you to go ahead and understand that you need my service. So can I offer you a 10% off coupon if you go ahead and book me for the month of November? I want to go ahead and book a bi-weekly clean for you because you want your house clean before Thanksgiving, but then I know you're going to want it clean after, right? And that helps for that customer to have a lifetime value with you at the end of the day. And if you do a great job in that type of service-based business, what will happen is that they'll want to book you for December because Christmas is coming. They're doing a Christmas dinner and they want their house cleaned before and they want their house cleaned after. Okay. So it's important for you to remind the customer of the value 100%. All right. Next, in that 3-part flow, you also want to be able to give proof of testimonials. Testimonials are powerful. Okay. If you have a service-based business, like I have a remote cleaning business, this proof of testimonial, essentially what it does is it resonates with the customer, right? It once again gives value, but it helps them to be able to see the outcome, the before and the after. So it's important that you get testimonials in your business as you're following up with your customers and your clients, right? You can send an email sequence out, you can send a text message out with whatever your proof of a testimonial is, and that will help the people that you're connected to understand the value once again, and making sure that they're connecting to you for whatever their pain point is or their need. All right. Last but not least, call to actions are everything. All right. If you're listening to anybody in the marketing space, you will always hear them talk about CTAs, right? People need to know as they're going on their customer journey what to do and when to do it. So if you look at any of my content on my platforms, especially if they're like reels, what you will see is me always giving a call to action. And not only that, there are automations on my Instagram page that are built into the call to actions, the keywords that I'm telling my particular people to follow. So what does that look like? If I create a piece of content, let's say on the TT side, or I create a piece of content on the YT side, you will see some text on that particular video that says, I know you've been waiting to start this online business for the past 3 months, but you don't know where to start. Then there might be an arrow pointing down. Check out the comments for 3 different things that you can do to start your online business today, right? That's my call to action. I'm telling you exactly what to do. Okay, thank you for the follow, Mama 5. I appreciate you. I'm telling you exactly what to do. And if you guys can do me a favor and go ahead and tap up the screen over here on the TT side, this lets TT know that I am live, and they will go ahead and make sure that we get some more people in the building so that they can get this free game to start their online businesses. I'm talking about before the end of the year. All right. Launching literally. Thank you so much for liking the live XOXO. So if you guys could tap on the screen, I definitely would appreciate it. And so call to actions are everything on your content as a business owner. You want to be able to let people know what to do. Even if you're sending out sequences, thank you so much for the hearts. Even if you're sending out sequences, if we can get to 1K likes, that would be great. Email sequences, you still want to give a call to action, right? So if you opt into my newsletter for the Lady CEO, Intentional Lady CEO community, which is free to opt in for the newsletter, there'll always be call to action. Check out my latest YouTube video. It's going to help you to be able to build out automated systems for your online business. I'm always inviting my people on a journey to be able to get more value so that when I plug that offer in there, they've already gotten full in terms of the fact that I've given them value, right? Here's 5 tools that you can plug into your business to help to scale it to the next level. These are tools that I use that made me this amount of money when it comes to this particular funnel that I set up. You have to know how to be able to navigate your people as they're going on their customer journey. I am absolutely in love with being able to have an email list. Okay. Old school people that have been in online business completely understand that. But the new school way, I think I was saying earlier, is that most of the purchases that you see in a lot of people's lives, let's say on the TT side, is like, oh, purchase my ebook, and pretty much that's it. No, you can consistently be able to have a lifetime customer, as long as your business is running, if you have different email sequences that are set up with call to actions. Okay. And you've gone through different customer journeys with some of the stores that you love, right? Some of the creators that you love, and you didn't even know it. They put you on a landing page, gave you a call to action, told you to grab whatever the thing was. You clicked into it, and then they went ahead and did a tripwire for an upsell. And before you knew it, your cart value went from $27 up to $77, up to $167. Because of the fact that they understand the power of call to actions. And it's not just about getting the sell. When people understand that they have value, or you understand that you have value to give people that have pain points, you don't mind charging them at the end of the day, because I'm charging you because I'm making an exchange for what it is that you want as a consumer. And I know it's an earlier teaching that I did, but if you're just building out a business, or you have a desire, hey, welcome in, to build out a business, you never have to be afraid about your pricing model, right? Because one, you've done research, and you know that you're pricing your products or your services at the right place because you are a savvy business owner, right? You do stuff in order. But at the end of the day, you understand that you're making an exchange. I'm giving you what you need that's connected to your pain point as a consumer at the end of the day. So I don't have to feel guilty about the fact that I decided to price an ebook at $27, because I understand that that $27 is going to help you to be able to start your online business, and you're going to get a whole lot of value from that. Okay. And so moving right along, remember, I understand implementation, and you should too in your business building. And essentially, we talked about the fact that if you have an online business, I want you to start exploring, or you have a desire to have one, different payment processors. Stripe, right? Go into the system and read about the transaction fee. How much are they going to charge me? How much is this going to potentially take away from my margin in 12 months? Okay. That's implementation. In order to make sure you get results, you can't just get information, but you got to go ahead and connect it to implementation, so that then you can get wins and results. And that's when you get excited and you keep going, right? And you start to scale up your business endeavors. 100%. And so it's important also that when it comes to building a follow-up system, that's what we're talking about in day 13, right? I already talked about this. I kind of skipped ahead, that you make sure that you have email sequences or either DMs set up. And so I think I talked about this maybe earlier, but essentially, if you go on my Instagram, I did talk about this a couple of minutes ago. What you'll find is that they're call to actions. And I didn't say this part. There's a system built in called mini chats. You guys can look it up. They have a free level, and then I think the paid level is about $15, but you don't have to opt into that right away. Okay. And so with mini chats in particular, once there's a CTA or a keyword, right, that's dropped on my video, like I might say, comment ready if you want to start to build an online business in the video. Once the people go ahead on the IG side and they type in ready, what happens is that the system recognizes that keyword, and automatically they get a DM, right? And so it'll say, hi, my name is Tamia Denise. I'm known as the Intentional Lady CEO, and I'm so excited to be able to offer you this resource that's going to help you to be able to jumpstart building your online business. And then it'll be a link to my Lady CEO blueprint. Essentially, that's going to help you to be able to build your online business. And if they don't click the link after 30 minutes, it's going to be a follow-up. That's how you automate your systems for follow-ups. All right. Mini chats is the name of that particular tool. Okay. And so it's important that you have consistency in every single thing that you'll do as a business owner. That is the habit that you have to learn how to have 100%. So for example, I'm, in my online business building space, Okay. And I didn't feel good a couple of days ago. I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm right in the middle of a live challenge. What did I already do? The thing that I already made sure that I did was that I had pre-made content, batched content, because I don't want it to be one day that my people do not see me showing up for them. All right. So we talked about the importance of consistency. Not only that, but if you tell me in any of my posts that you want to go ahead and you want to get ready to start a business or you want to coach with me, I'm sending at least 3 to 5 touch points in terms of emails. Okay. Either I'm going to put you into my sequence that's connected to my system, which is KIT, which is my customer relationship management system. And I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to let you know what I have to offer, and then I'm going to make you an offer. You're going to get 3 to 5 different touch points from me, right? Because in the business world, sometimes it takes people to see your stuff or your business about a good 7 times before they even trust you. It's all about a process, right? It's all about understanding what those processes look like. Okay. So just prepare as you're building your online business to have a level of consistency, right? And you'll begin to teach yourself how consistent you have the capacity to be able to be. Right? Consistency is key. A lot of times we quit right before our breakthroughs in our business endeavors, right? We quit right before we see the change that we want to see. I could easily, if I can keep it a buck, I try to keep it a buck. I could easily get discouraged because I just started my endeavors on TikTok consistently, maybe like a month now. And I could say, oh my goodness, I don't have 50 different people in my life, right? And say, excuse me, and say essentially that I quit. But I don't choose to do that because I understand that when I look in the back end of my analytics, there have been at least 200 people that touched my life, even if they didn't stay. That's 200 people. Can you imagine sitting in a room with 200 people? Right? But sometimes we don't understand that there's a bigger picture. If I consistently show up every single day, then I expect then for there to be reciprocity. People are going to show up for me. So you have to learn the art of consistency. All right. So your marching orders in terms of day 13 is that I want you to write 3 short follow-up messages for your particular customers or clients. If you have a business in mind, you haven't started to build out that business, this would be a great way to get started. To start to write out 3 short follow-up messages. And if you don't know where to start, go to Chat GPT. That is going to be your best friend. My Chat GPT is named BizBuddy. That's what I named my Chat GPT. And my Chat GPT knows me like a best friend. So essentially, I can throw a quick prompt in Chat GPT and say, hey, Chat, because I talk to Chat every single day. I'll say, hey, Chat, can you go ahead and create 3 short follow-up messages for my business? And immediately it will spit it out, right? So you have to learn to work smarter, not harder, not be at a place in your CEO mindset where you get stuck and you're like, oh my God, I don't know how to do that. You live in 2025, figure it out. Go to the internet, ask questions, send a DM, but you got to get it done at the end of the day. All right. So that's your implementation work. Your first thing that you were going to do on day 12, because we went over 2 days. Remember, I said I was out sick for this 30-day challenge. So I'm doubling up. All right. We'll be back on track tomorrow when I go live at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Your first marching orders, essentially, or your action steps, I'd rather say, is that you're going to go ahead and pick a payment processor. I don't care if you don't have a business yet. Start researching payment processors, Stripe, PayPal, Square. How much do they want for a transaction fee? Is it 2.5? How much will that eventually, once you come back to it, take away from your margin in your business? All right. And then your next implementation action step is going to be to go to ChatGPT, or if you're creative, and you can create 3 short follow-up messages for your customers or your clients. If you have a business, then that should be easier to do. And if you don't, then you can think about the business that you want to create. It can be a service-based business. It can be a products-based business. It can be an affiliate-based business, okay? Because these are all online businesses. And that looks like, okay, service-based business. What I have in my remote cleaning business, right? I would create a 3 short follow-up message that would go to my particular clients and customers, or type that in Chat GPT. Products-based business, if you want to sell ebooks, right? If you want to sell courses, create a 3 short follow-up message for those particular customers and clients that's connected to your niche. Remember, the word niche is only an idea. What area do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus on beauty? Do you want to focus on cleaning? Do you want to focus on school children? Do you want to focus on socks? That's your particular idea, your niche. Whoever it is that's connected to that niche essentially is going to be your audience. Okay. So all of that being said, it is 100% important that you understand the game of follow-up. You're not going to be the type of business owner that's like, oh, I sent one email and I didn't hear. When I email people, or I have my virtual assistant email people, we emailing you a whole bunch of times until you tell us to stop. Okay? Because what I recognize is that people that want my business do the exact same thing at the end of the day. Okay? And they're not afraid. I had just recently signed up for a back-end system to get commercial cleanings, okay, for my business, for my remote cleaning business. And this man must have called me 15 times. Hey, I'm just following up, Tamia. I saw that you went ahead and you signed up for our online platform. I want to show you how it works. And I respected him because I said, you know what? Hey, Stacey Ann, he's not going to stop until he gets that sale. That's what you call a great business owner at the end of the day, or a salesperson, or whoever he was. And if you notice, when you sign up to, let's say, Nostrum, they don't care nothing about you seeing 55 emails that come from them. They're going to keep sending emails over and over again because that's how they run their business. These things are not hobbies for people. These things are how people pay their bills. And so I think the mentality has to shift from, oh, I don't want to bother people with my product or my service. Do you believe in your product or your service? Do you believe in it? Because if you believe in it, you know the value of what you have, and you want to be able to connect to people that need that product and that service, because it's going to be able to answer a pain point at the end of the day. Those people over at Nostrum Rack, they know that there is value in their products. So they do not mind emailing you 55 times at the end of the day. Okay. I don't know how many emails they sent. All right. And so we're going to go ahead and pick that payment processor. You're going to make sure that you test it with a dollar transaction. Like I said, check out the transaction fees. Okay. And then you're going to create that short email follow-up sequence. All right. For your particular customers and clients. Now, like I mentioned before, I don't want to see you at a place where it's like, I don't know where to start. So I have a solution to that problem. I have a 2 ebook bundle. I mentioned this earlier. It's going to help you as an aspiring upcoming lady CEO, no matter where you are in your business building, or if you never had a business before, to be able to get started. All right. If you want to be able to receive this bundle, you can go ahead and click the LINK over here on the YT side. And if you would like to receive the LINK for that bundle over here on the TT side, then go ahead and shoot me a DM and I will have it over to you. Unfortunately, on the TT side, there is not a live LINK, right? So you're going to have to copy and paste it into your browser. But once we get to 1K follows, that won't even be an issue. Hey, Tavares, welcome in. So I'm super excited to have you guys to be able to join me on this journey of us going on 30 days of building an online business that I know that you'll absolutely love as an aspiring or either upcoming lady CEO. And I want to invite you to make sure that you're following me on all of my platforms, on IG at The Intentional Lady CEO or on YT. There are literally 145 videos to teach you how to go ahead and build an online business, and over here on TT where I'm new. But I'm online at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. for the next 30 days. Okay. So I appreciate you showing up. Make sure that you implement so that you can start to get results. We're in the last quarter of the year. The great lock-in is what we're calling it. We're not waiting to January 1st to start to run up a bag. Okay. If you have a 9-to-5, that's respected, but we need multiple streams of income at the end of the day, because we don't want to be in the position to whereas other people have the power to be able to let us know when we should eat or when we shouldn't eat. Okay. This is the time of the have and the have nots. And what I'm telling you is that you need to have multiple streams of income to get to where you need to be. in this life and in this journey, essentially. If you have any questions, please make sure that you follow me over here on TikTok and shoot me a DM if you're looking to get into a consultation. My calendar is open for that right now. And you can join me again tomorrow at 7 a.m., where I'm teaching you how to go ahead and build an online business that you will absolutely love. Okay. So you guys have a good night. Bye-bye. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m.